shows that we should be live. If you're watching right now, guys, and we're going live, you may have to refresh your browser because, of course, we have been hosting a lot of different people. No problem with that because we like to, have different people do stuff and watch different people. We have also done a bunch of different things with the podcast. I'm still working on some stuff, so if you see back here, my green screen is a little messed up, so we're going to have to do it. Hey, Maximum DT. Twitch stream switched over finally. Yeah, it should take a minute. We're going to be doing some testing on some things, too, since we're doing the pre-ramble. I need to figure out.
You really did do a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I spent about 7 hours working on our Twitch stream one day. So the chat box has been changed. I'm going to open this up a bit because I don't like that. The Twitch stream's been changed. The way people see stuff.
My background is black now. Like my soul.
Just like mine. So if you're watching, guys, we're going to just be tweaking during the pre-ramble. Of course, talking about other stuff, but I'm going to be tweaking things, make sure things are set up correctly. We're also going to change the screen up just a bit.
See how this is.
It's
kind of pinches. Good. Ow. Yeah. Ow.
Ow, ow, pinch. Let me keep the aspect ratio.
Tastes like apple juice.
Tastes like apple juice.
Well, I mean, it's like, I think I looked at it, was like, it's 4.5% alcohol by volume, so, I mean, it fucking is apple juice, basically, to me.
Yeah.
Oh, Maximum DT, thoughts on God Tier? No more games. It may be great, the models look cool, but I just... No mas.
No
mas. You
mas.
can't with the games, too many, it's overload, isn't it? It's like sensory overload.
Yeah,
There's too many. There's just too many. And they're all going at once.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I can't anymore.
And again, I mean, I don't have a problem with them starting a new game through Kickstarter, because they seem like they've been doing some stuff outside of Kickstarter, so that's good. I was a little worried about them for a little bit on that because they seem to be a little too Kickstarter focused, but they're doing good. So, yeah, it's just too many games. I still have Relic Knights 2.0 coming, which hindsight, if I knew I was going to start playing 40K again, wouldn't have bothered.
Yeah.
And I got to play what the guys locally are going to play. Luckily, Congo is reasonably local, and he wishes to play that, so that's good. And I've got Brett Painter, who was watching you guys on Saturday.
Yeah.
He's interested. My buddy, Not Brushhead Dave, is interested. So, I mean, end of the day, I got some people to play that, but between Legion and Armada and 40K and Malifaux and Infinity, this is already probably more miniatures games than I should be. Look, I can take Armada out. There's no real painting or anything, but still, it's... You put War Machine in there, which I really haven't played in a while, so...
But
it is what
there.
it is. It's still there.
Miles. So. We're doing some... if you guys haven't noticed while John's doing this, I'm going to be changing up a few things in the way we set up. Because we are actually starting to become a little bit more popular on Twitch, and we want to be able to have people do and see things on Twitch. If you're new, which I see we have got 10 people, which is actually pretty big for us on our pre-ramble watching. We are resetting things up. Yeah, we don't usually...
Two of those are me and Kathy. So
yeah,
I
still.
was gonna say, it's nice to see the familiar people, Maximum DT and Legionnaire, Necron Miles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I already told. Yeah, blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, so I'm actually working on the production values.
I'm good at talking.
So I'm just trying to get things set up a little bit different for us. My green screen's a little messed up. I'll have to wait on that. I'm not worried about that as much. Other things are pretty good. We're going to be changing up the Twitch stream just a little bit, so y'all can have something to do also when you're watching this.
See in my background, so you can see my Alexa.
I can see your Captain America.
Captain America.
That's cool. It's a metal poster. I really like the metal posters because they're just so easy to mount. The Star Wars ones are over here. You can't see them. You see my can of whoop ass over there.
So for people that know, this is our pre-ramble where we talk about just our week and we try to make sure bugs are going because we're going to be doing some streaming on a lot of different stuff now. Other than that, hope everybody's here.
Yeah.
Hope everyone likes it.
Kathy's, if we're doing happies.
Uh-huh.
Kathy's doing happies. Yay!
John's
Happy.
doing happies, and Gonzo is just a bitter old man.
Bitter old bastard.
Toothbrush holder is great for holding paintbrushes, by the way.
I have, what the hell do we call it?
You lost your crossbow and your power cable?
And my
sorry.
crossbow. He moved, he lost his mangler, his crossbow, and the power cable for his backup hard drive.
That's
the power
weird.
cable, luckily, is probably the easiest thing to replace.
Yeah.
The mangler, I mean, not too hard, but you gotta build it and all. That's kind of no bueno. And crossbow, like, shit. I bet there's a box somewhere with just that random stuff in it you did last minute or something. You'll find it like 5 years later, like, oh, there's that shit. Crap. Oh.
So, Kathy, what did you do this weekend? Or this week, I should say, because we went quite a bit.
So, well, my usual Monday night D&D.
Uh-huh. Anybody died?
Nobody died.
Dang it.
Nobody died. Again. You know, it's always chancy, but since Eric's house burnt down, he hasn't been there. So he's kind of the main dyer in our group. Do you have that, like, in your core group? Somebody who just dies all the time? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about him or the characters he plays. He just dies all the time. This is like his fourth character.
It's usually me.
He expects us to rescue his soul from this lich, but I'm really not interested in doing that.
You're like, nope. Ooh, I gotta open my beer.
Tempting, but
I'm like, I have the Emperor of Mongo to kill. I'm sorry, I'm otherwise occupied.
Otherwise occupied.
Yeah. So, and other than that, I made play dates with 2 different gaming groups to play 2 different board games. So, a friend of ours texted us out of the blue about gaming tomorrow morning, and I said to Jim, I'm like, wait, tomorrow's Monday, right? Is that a holiday? No. Well, what? Apparently, the 3 of our friends have off on Monday, and so we're going to go over there at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to play Age of Renaissance.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, which is, as regular listeners know, one of my favorite board games. It's an old Avalon Hill game. And then the other play date is with a different group playing Charterstone Legacy, which I've never played before. And so Peter's bringing it in, and he's going to teach us the game.
Ooh.
And it's one of those ones, well, it's a legacy game, so you are making adjustments to the game, to the cards, to the board.
Forgot something.
So that every time you play it from then on, it's customized to, you know, the way that you first played the campaign. So I'm looking forward to that, and we're going to be doing that in May. So then I'll be able to talk about, you know, how much fun it was, or if it wasn't fun at all, but I can't imagine that being the case.
Yeah, but, you know, you assume it's going to be fun. I mean, it's a game. They usually start at fun.
Well, and it's a good group. I'm pretty sure we are going to have a blast. And then, so Gonzo and my husband Jim and I painted yesterday live on Twitch. So thank you for the people who did join us in the chat. It was a lot of fun and quite productive for me, actually. So we're going to be hoping to do a bunch more of those live painting streams in the future.
Awesome.
Actually, quite a lot coming up.
Yeah. So, John, what did you do this last week?
I started a new job.
What?
Hooray!
You got that fat cash now, don't you?
No, I don't get paid. I won't get paid for another 2 weeks.
Oh, I know. Doesn't it suck?
There is no fat cash. Not even when you get paid.
I'm okay. You know, I'm financially fine, luckily. It's good. I'm apparently... they took the training wheels off for the stuff I was doing on Wednesday, which I get the impression is super duper early. And apparently I am 3 weeks into the training program after a week. But I think they were expecting a little bit of that because I do have lots of experience in this.
Because you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I do know what I'm doing. In fact, I'm more experienced in this particular job than one of my coworkers, and he's like, getting first. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. It's all good, man. Stop worrying about it. It's all good. Trying to give him some support. All right, buddy, done. Other than that, I got we did week 3 of the Malifaux Slow Grow at Third Eye Games down in Annapolis.
Good.
Plus, I got to check it out. Check out how the drive is there, but not at normal time because apparently my new job doesn't allow overtime, which is mind-boggling from the job that required it a lot.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like, oh, John, we worked you too hard. You need to leave at 4 today. I'm like,
What?
okay.
Okay, twist my arm.
Yeah, but that was good. Nice young lady just started playing a couple weeks ago, so I played a game against her, and though I won, she knew every mistake she made, so that's good. She had her eye on the prize. She's going to be good in Malifaux. She'll be doing fine. Then let's see. Spoiler for everyone for the main cast. I did not watch any movies or TV this week. Just the way everything fell.
So
We
funny.
did Friday. We did an Armada League game. Myself versus Not Brushhead Dave. This was an improvement over the last one we did. It actually lasted 3 turns, not 2. Unfortunately, it was still pretty much the same thing where it just crushed his fleet. But he's got a new plan for his fleet, and I helped him by killing the ships he wanted dead, so that he can replace them with the ships he actually wants. So I'm helping.
Yay!
And then Saturday was Introduce Sewer Bear. We did, I don't know,
How many hours did you do?
5.5 hours.
Damn.
So that's gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
But it was like the big one, them. Those of you following, they went to go try and free Sewer Bear from demonic possession, and hilarity ensued. And a lot of
As it often does with demonic possession.
yeah, and if there's one fault to the system we're using champions is big combats take a long time.
Yeah.
I've been trying to push for a simpler game, but some of the guys just really like champions for its crunchiness.
Yeah.
But I'd have to slap a couple of guys down for trying to game the system. One guy's, can I do this? I'm like, no, you can't because you're trying to game the system. It looks at me like I'm crazy. I'm like,
Damn it, you figured
in
it
general,
out.
you can, but you can't do it the way you want because you're trying to game it.
Yeah. So we should get that episode of Sewer Bear sometime this week.
Yeah. I just gotta download it and all.
Okay.
And then today I went and hung out with the guys. Did not get a miniature game in technically, but I did play a game of Warhammer Shadespire. One of the guys had it, and we were sitting there waiting for the guys to play because 40k games can take forever.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping against hope maybe it'd go quickly and I get a game of something in, but so we played that and it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun game. Quick,
Yeah,
simple, and easy.
Simple, easy, not a lot of cost investment. I mean,
No.
worst case, even if you buy, all the accoutrement, you're in for. I can't imagine you paying more than 120 if you have to get another group and you get all the sleeves for the group you want to play and all the damn dice, the special dice.
Yep.
Legionnaires asking for Shadespire thoughts.
It's a good game. It's, I know they advertise it as being super competitive, but it's not really super competitive. It plays quick. It's only 3 turns or so.
Best 2 out of 3 games.
Best 2 out of 3 games, generally speaking. Rules are reasonably tight enough. Not a lot of models.
Mm-mm.
Easy
Unless
to
you're
put
playing
together
undead.
models. Even them, not a lot of models.
Yeah, even them. But still,
I think no one's gonna have more than 7, even the Skaven. So,
Hmm.
because there's only like 7 spots on the board to deploy.
Yep.
It's a really good intro game to wargaming. Gives you some of the concepts. I like the concept of being able to customize your deck with special cards because I had a couple special cards. I'm like, I'm not going to use this, so I'm going to discard, draw a new one. So yeah, definitely worth picking up. I mean, it's not expensive at all. I mean, I was more than anything like New GW. I was really surprised with the price point on it.
Yeah.
Because I was really like, I looked at it, I'm like, oh, good lord, old GW would have sold that for like freaking, like $100 or something. And Shadespire is actually only 60. You get 2 complete war. You get enough to play 2 different war bands in it. The Sigmarites and some basic Chaos dudes.
That's actually pretty cool. That sounds good.
Yeah, and then they've got a ton of add-on stuff for it. They've got it's funny, they got like sleeves for your specific guys if you want like the exact
And
sleeves to
dice.
match, and dice, which even those, it's like the sleeves, it's $8, it's all the sleeves you need. The dice, it's like $10, it's all the dice you need.
Yeah. You don't have to buy a
And
double pack of anything or whatever.
Now,
yeah,
is
and
this just like D6?
Yeah.
Or are they just like special D6
They're
with
they're
like,
special D6.
you know,
they're special.
special pictures on the 6?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're special. They doing it right. It's not like some of the games where they have special D6s for no real reason. But there are enough different things on the dice that it really is important that they're different.
Yeah.
And then if you were to purchase a different one of the war bands, I think they're called,
Yep.
they're like $30, which is really not bad. And you get between 3 and 7 models and all the cards and everything you need for them. It's again, I'm really impressed with what they did with it overall. It seems like it's a good, solid game.
Yeah.
Gonzo, what'd you do this week?
Worked. Got a little bit of game in at the game store. Had a new player. I'm working on some stuff for today's painting, by the way, so you don't see my face that much.
Bonus.
Because I'm gonna paint something different on the podcast today. Let's see. I had a player that never played against Grimkin before, and he played with his Convergence. And I says, "You're probably gonna see this list." You know, gave him here's the child for Skin and Bones, blah 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 type package, and yeah, that. And I took it and I says, "You really don't want to be within 14. You don't want your caster anywhere within 14 inches of my Skin and Bones." And he's like, "Why?" And I showed him, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And he still forgot about it. And I says, "Okay, I'm going to tell you this is why you lose because of this. My guy goes in at, POW 23, your armor 16, no focus. Get a free charge, so I can get there with, 6 attacks on your caster. So, I mean, it's good to go. But let's say because he forgot to, one thing he did was playing with a Prime Accident, he forgot to put a bot down in the way when it was moved. So I says, why don't you put, that servitor there and kind of move these guys around a little bit because you would have remembered not to have something, a straight line to your caster. And then we were talking about he had actually procced on the last turn. I used Wrath, and so everything was a plus, 1 Fury. And I says, and he also, he procced a bunch of other stuff. And so I was like, well, your Prime Maxim's going to die. There's nothing you can do to stop it because a fully loaded Skin and Bones just wrecks everything in its face. And then I was like, then these two, you left them within 12, which you had to because you had to put pressure on it, but you should have put one and not both. And, it was just teaching him the threat magnitude and the destructive capability of Child and Skin and Bones. Especially because I told him, I said, you really need to go and get rid of the death knell if you're going to try to take him out or do any damage, because with the death knell in there, it's just you can't do anything. Armor 21, you just didn't have the punch for it. And he was like, yeah. And I said, but if I did, I would have lost a Prime Axiom because you gotta sacrifice something. And the Prime Axiom is we're sacrificing to kill 2 to 3 heavies. And he was like, oh. Yeah, I guess so. And let's see. I did a lot of streaming this week, guys. I'm gonna be trying to do streaming Tuesdays, of course Wednesdays for our RPG, and Fridays, and sometime on Saturday. Having guest people on. We are going to try to get the podcast a little bit more viewers, a little bit more things. We want to actually try to go for partnership. And get
on
that
Twitch,
on Twitch.
About,
yeah,
right?
on Twitch. I'd be a Twitch partner. We're already an affiliate, which is no big deal. We're trying to get a Twitch partner. So we're hoping we can get that. Other than that, let's see what else I did. I painted Darth Vader, my second Darth Vader. He's completed. Yeah, and I actually glazed him. I'll show him whenever we go to the painting section. I'll go and I'll show him a little bit better. I also finished the ATST, based and everything.
Oh, sweet.
He looks really sweet. The base turned out really good. I worked on that during the stream a lot, and that had a lot of good going for it. The base turned out really, really sweet. I'm going to try to hold it up. But did some mudding and everything, but he turned out really cool. I really like him. Can't wait to put him on the table again and blow up some more rebels.
But he's overcosted. Everyone said so online.
Oh, then it must be true.
It must be true if everybody says
Right?
it online.
No, no. If you want to talk about online guns, there's one thing to talk about. You dropped on me. Was it Monday?
Uh-huh.
I got home. You're like, "Did you see the new 40K?"
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, the FAQs and the yeah.
Apparently, Daka lost their shit over it.
Well, here's the
I
thing.
s-
That, they're gonna have to get over it because turn one deep striking, which is what they were, where everybody was bitching about, is
Yeah,
a problem for the game.
it is. It's bad
I
for the game.
I saw that. Um, I saw that whenever I went to my first tournament of 40K after being away from it,
Yeah, you
and
mentioned that back in the Pain John days.
yeah, and I was like,
It's a while
this is a
ago.
wrong. So yeah, I see. Maximum T. I did get another game of Legion in, and this one I brought a bunch of stormtroopers, and I still lost. But it was more of a learning game because we were trying to figure out different rules and how things work and blah blah blah. But it was really good. I still love the game. Still worthwhile to get. Cash wise, it's decently. As long as you start now, that way you're not playing catch up, you can get some good games in.
Yeah, it's FFG. I mean, if you pay in catch up, it's no good. The best bet is to get a starter and get someone else to swap a starter, though potentially that's not good. There are a couple cards that, while you don't, not like you have to buy Stormtroopers to get cards for Rebel Troopers, you do have to buy a Rebel Troopers box to get cards that your Rebel Troopers can use.
Yeah. And I highly recommend, even if you're not going to play the Rebels, just get the starter box instead of buying, the individual stuff.
Yeah, we need a starter box anyways.
Yeah. It gives you all the stuff in, and just find someone that's willing to trade you, your Rebels for Troopers or Troopers for Rebels or whatever.
Or
And
if you're that guy locally who teaches people occasionally, keep both and then just supplement with the box sets
yeah,
because you'll have some Stormtroopers that teach you how to play. You get the cards you need because everyone wants impact grenades in case your troopers got to kill vehicles
yep.
because it is pretty good. And then was it grappling claws or grappling
Grappling
hooks?
hooks.
Because climbing is or clambering is no bueno.
Well, I have a question about
You
that.
need to
Since
be able to climb on stuff.
yes, when we found that out because we placed some objectives on top of buildings
Yep.
and stuff, and so what's the specific rules on clambering? Because it's not
So
climbing.
so climbing as opposed to clambering. Climbing is when you have a ladder or steps or something you can climb up with that's
Mm-hmm.
not difficult.
Yeah.
Clambering is literally when you're climbing up something that is not easily climbed. Like I'm gonna get to the top of this building. There's nothing. So you roll, and then for each trooper, I think you roll a white die, and if you roll a shield, they die.
So even if you spend both your actions to do that,
ouch.
I believe so. I would have to double check, but I can start doing that now because I
yeah,
got all that stuff on my computer.
because we did that, and the guy says no. If you spend double your action,
Uh,
but both your actions, you don't have to roll the white die. Which I could see that wouldn't be a problem
I've
with me.
heard that from someone else,
It could be.
but I don't want to quote that because it was on my list of things, but I didn't get a chance to really go over anything this week because, well, new job and getting into the back into the swing of things. But I'll find out for you. That's
Yeah.
my
Right
that's
on.
my there.
I will be at the melee at the Shiloh. That is local for me, so I will be there trying to get as many points as I can. I'm actually going to 2 tournaments in the next 2 weeks. This weekend is OzCon, which is in southern Missouri. Um, what is it? OzCon into this? Is it this weekend? Yeah, OzCon's this weekend. I'm just doing a day trip to that. And then Melee at Shiloh, which is on Cinco de Mayo. I'll definitely be there for that. And then I have 1 week I'm not doing anything. Then I'm going to MomCon that next week, which I will probably May 20th. We probably won't be podcasting that day because I'll be coming back from MomCon and we'll have a lot of stuff going on. So yeah,
That's not Mother's Day, is it?
Mother's Day is the 13th. That's the day that you said you couldn't do
Okay.
anything. Kathy's not gonna be able to do
Oh,
anything on
that's
Mother's
right.
Day.
I that's when we're playing Charterstone Legacy, and we have friends coming in from out of town that I never see, so that's why I'm taking off. But the week after that, I can tell you about my experience playing Charterstone Legacy.
Sweet.
Cool. So, Gonzo, in answer to your rules question, you can anything up to height 1 in a single move action. You can go up. It's risky, but it's 1 white die for each mini. If you roll a block, you take a wound. You can send 2 move actions, move up or down in height up to height 2. But if it does so, it must roll 2 white defense die for each mini, and suffer 1 wound for each block. So there is nothing that specifically says you can spend 2 actions to move actions to get up and not take it.
So somebody just made that up?
We're still learning.
You could infer it from the way the rules read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it does say that it's it's too much to do in 1 action, implying you can use 2 actions. But earlier it also says it's anything higher than height 1 from the least position is simply too extensive a climb to commit with the span of a single activation. So I would say, as it reads right now,
activation.
Yeah, as it reads right now, you would have to roll for that. But again, that's where just make sure you have some access in some things, and honestly, that's what stuff like ATRTs and there's an upgrade of grappling hooks is good for.
Yep, grappling hooks, and so we were talking about it, and he had told me about it, and so I was like, that still doesn't seem right, but oh well.
And also,
not a big deal.
Like I said, I can see how you can infer that.
Yes. What else? What else did I do this week? Like I said, played some games, talked to some people.
It actually does say a unit can spend 2 actions to safely move vertically up or down distance up to height 1. So height 1 you can do it, but anything higher than height 1.
Oh, okay, and yet then we did do it right.
Yeah. So yeah, it does actually have, but it's FFG. This is their best rule book yet, but still suffers from the have to find rules in a ton of different places.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, not that big of a deal.
You know that's so many games these days. I mean, you've got rules on 1 page for this thing, and then other rules for the same thing on a page 5 pages further down.
Yep.
Well, it's not it's just FFG doesn't write a rule book. They write some tiny rules, then everything else is a reference. Yep. So really, you have to go, all right, looking at the rule main thing here. Okay, let's go look at the reference for climbing and clambering and vertical. You have to look in like 4 different places when you could make a rule book. It'd be larger, but you could make it more easy to digest.
Yeah. Or, have an app and you can just like press the link that takes you to the definition for the rule thing you're looking for.
Yeah, but pretty much only Infinity does that I know of.
But wouldn't that be cool?
If Warroom does that.
It is pretty cool, but honestly, yeah.
You know what I need for Star Wars Legion? I need somebody to send me that box set because I can't afford that. I can't afford all these games that I want to play. Plain and simple.
And
just
the time.
Send me games, and then I'll play them.
And maybe the time to do it because you got commission work you have to do.
I do have commission work I have to do.
Which,
I mean, yeah. I work at home, but that doesn't mean I don't work.
Yeah, and you actually work really well when you're actually painting on camera too. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I'm a bit more productive when I am when I'm on camera and I'm talking to people. I told Jim the other day it was like when we used to go to the bunker and we used to all sit up at the paint bar and a bunch of different people painting together, and I always liked that.
Yeah.
And painting with you and Jim and having the chat there and interacting with people while I'm painting, it's just
natural.
Just much more fun for me.
Yeah, that's the kind of reason why I've been streaming while I'm painting, because it keeps me busy, keeps me centered. I mean, I'm still listening to music at the same time, but I can look over so often because I've got my iPad. If you haven't noticed, I've been looking to my left. I have my iPad over here so I can see the chat a little bit easier while we're doing this because my computer screen's off way to my right-hand side. And I found that I'm more productive when I'm streaming. So
fair enough.
We're going to be doing more of that, guys. A lot more streaming,
summer,
especially. Yeah.
This summer, we're going to be definitely doing a lot more streaming because Gonzo's going to be, off of work doing the teacher thing, right?
Yep. This summer, I mean, I think the first week of summer, I'm actually going to Nashville to go hang out with a friend. But yeah, I will definitely be doing a lot more streaming. I'm going to try to set up a regular schedule, maybe in chunks and 2-hour blocks. That way it's not going to push me to, do too much, but still get some time in.
Yeah, I think 2 hours is great. Yesterday was 2.5 hours, and that was if my stomach hadn't have been growling so much by like 3 o'clock, I might have painted for longer, but I was ravenous.
Yeah. And Way to Three definitely likes my painting playlist. Which, guys, we do have it set up so you can request a song when we have our music going. So if there's something you want to listen to, you can definitely do that. But yeah, Leo was playing quite a bit. John, he is quite a hit with Weight of Three.
Yeah, well, I really like Leo myself. I actually support him on Patreon because he deserves my money.
Yeah. All right, guys, it is 7 o'clock. We're going to shut everything down, bring everything back up. Don't go anywhere. We're just resetting it for the podcast. Be right back.